Welcome to the channel, Ahilan here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about turnover time for getting your books ghostwritten by either freelancers or ghostwriting companies. Now, the first topic I want to talk about is the ghostwriting companies. So on average, you're looking at, for the majority of ghostwriting companies, they promise you to produce your books within 2 weeks, right? Now, the issue with this is, generally speaking, now I'm not saying all ghostwriting companies, but I'm saying the vast majority of them will hire writers where English is their second language, right? So these are not English. These are not writers where English is their native language; it's their second language. And remember, ghostwriting companies are in the business of making money. They're concerned about their margins, so they have to outsource the work. They can't hire someone natively because it would be too expensive. So then they outsource it and hire people from Asia, right, as opposed to North America. So that's why I emphasize on hiring directly using freelancing websites like Upwork and other sites like that, because I personally like having control over my asset, also known as your book, right? Having direct control over it enables me to make critical decisions early on in the production of my book. And for instance, let's say I hire a writer, we're on the first milestone and his writing capabilities are not up to par. Well, guess what? I can just terminate him then and there and then just get my money back, right? As opposed to hiring a hiring a ghostwriting company and then waiting 4 weeks. You just burned your time and money, and you get a book that's not up to par and a book that's in disorder, in disarray. It's riddled with grammar errors, spelling errors, and it's just in shambles, right? So that's why I always, especially in the private Facebook group and in my private Facebook group for the course and in the course, I emphasize on hiring directly. As a beginner, I do recommend starting out with ghostwriting companies, but I always highly recommend and endorse eventually down the road hiring your own personal writer. I personally have 4 to 5 writers who work for me for different niches, and I'll give you my insights on that as well. So the other side of things is, if you're hiring a writer directly and you want to produce a high quality book. So from my experience, high quality books take anywhere between 4 weeks. So 4 weeks to 1.5 months. So I've had books where month. So yeah, I've had books where for a technical niche, so I use higher tier writers for those types of niches. So I spend anywhere between $600 to $700, and I've had books that have taken me upwards to 2 months to be produced. However, I'm fine with that because I know that it's going to be an asset for me and it's going to pay its dividends. It's going to pay me a recurring monthly cash flow month after month, and it's going to have a longevity, right? So because that's what you want at the end of the day. You want a long-term asset that's going to produce you cash flow month after month, right? Because that's what you're after at the end of the day. And that's what I find an issue with and problematic with having ghostwriting companies write books for you that take up to 2 weeks, because generally speaking, they will hire writers where English is their second language, and you're going to get a book that's riddled with, again, grammar errors, spelling errors, and just going to be in shambles and disorder. So you never want that, and you always want to aim for high quality, right? High quality books. And I also want to talk about scaling, right? So that's the thing, right? I know, scaling is the big thing within this space, scaling your business, your publishing business. And the issue with that is, the issue with scaling your business is, if you're hiring, a ghostwriting company to do all your books, right? You're gonna get a bunch of books back that are not up to par. So you're gonna spend, I personally know of a publisher, or publishers I should say, that have spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on a bunch of books that they're trying to, because they're attempting to scale their business. However, in my opinion, they're going to be burning their money. Why? Because if you think about it, ghostwriting companies, like I mentioned earlier, generally speaking, the majority of the time, they will hire a writer where English is not their English is not their first language, so it's their second language. So they're going to get sub-quality books, subpar books. And sure, the turnaround time is somewhat fast, 2 weeks, but their books won't have a long-term longevity, right? It's just going to make some money and then boom, it's going to decline, right? And then it's going to get one starred and found in the backlog of Amazon. So that's the issue with scaling your business. And there's definitely a balance you have to find in between scaling your business for publishing and also taking the time to invest and have more of a precision laser focus in investing in a particular book and a niche. That's why in Passive Income Publishing Academy, I teach my students to really invest in their books, and look at your books as long-term assets, because gone are the days of writing poor quality books, even if you're spending $300 to $400. But if it's a poor quality book and it's written by someone where English is your second language, the longevity of your book the shelf life of your book will not be that long, right? You want your books to last years. You want to be paid out years and for years to come. And that's what I teach you in Passive Income Publishing Academy and in the private Facebook group, right? Because again, that's a serious issue. And that's a serious issue with scaling. And I also want to talk about another alternative you could probably try. I've personally done this myself. You could try writing the books yourself if you are a decent writer. I've personally outsourced half the work and then written the rest. That worked out for me very well for some of my books. Some books I've entirely written out myself that are pretty successful themselves, but under pen names, of course. But you can do that as well if you want to save costs, right? Because you got to understand that, again, there's a balance between finding, in theory, you can scale at mass. You can have a mass scale of books, right? You can create your publishing empire. But the thing is, you would have to hire a bunch of high quality writers, and one that would take a lot of money, and that would take a seriously coordinated effort on your end, because you want to hold creative direction, which each and every single writer from the freelancing websites you hire them from. And simply outsourcing it to your VA, so your virtual assistant, is not going to help, because if your virtual assistant doesn't speak English fluently and English is not their second language, that may problems may arise, and that may be problematic, because again, they won't know how your creative direction, I should say. They won't know your creative direction and how you want your book to be fleshed out, right? So that's going to be all for this video, and my insights and my experiences with turnover times for books that are ghostwritten by ghostwriting companies and as well as freelancers independently. So that's going to be all for this video. And if you want to learn more insights and more powerful and impactful information that can help change your publishing business and help you achieve success with your publishing business in the long term, with no long-term strategies and tips that you can use, and also a private Facebook group where you can network with publishers in the space, join Passive Income Publishing Academy, the best nonfiction course on the market. It's the place to be. It's the course to take if you want to seriously find success with self-publishing. So that's gonna be all for this video. I hope you found it insightful. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.